Hi, this is Hi Bob Poor Bob, and we're about to play some Ultimate General Civil War.
Hello, and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing Chickamauga Day 1. So, I tore down pretty much most of my army and rebuilt it all, as you can plainly see. We are bringing mostly infantry. Obviously, we have, 1, 2, 3 snipers and a 20-pound parrot as well. We also have these 61s, the Springfield 61s, and several of these are melee, just to give us some melee ability here. And these 61s are going to be to bring in on day 2 to help out with some places where having the extra damage will really help. These guys are not quite as low on morale as the guys that are over here. Well, some of them. These last ones, I guess, have morale that's a little bit higher, but most of them are a bit lower. So those are the first ones that we're going to bring in. They also have lower stamina, but the 10 stamina that they get from that first perk covers that. We are going with a experience commander because experience is good. I thought about going with a speed commander for this, but I decided against it in the end. This first corps is all of my best trained troops. I thought about bringing this one in. I don't think I ever go ahead and bring him in, but he's there just in case. With actual 60 with 3s, so basically the best unit that we can build right now. Most of these guys have pretty junk weapons, and there's a lot of 2-star generals that we didn't need in here that will just sit out the battle in there. We did use our good lieutenant general to allow us to bring in some light colonels and some really low colonels so we can get them trained up during this battle, which will be really helpful going forward. Just building more brigadier generals is better. In this corps, these 20-pound parrots will be able to give them recruits. These are all 3-star recruits, as you can see. 55 efficiency, 100 morale, 99 stamina, 73 firearms, and 48 melee. Really good units. So what we'll do is once we get into battle, we'll just up these, and that holds true for the rest of this corps as well. It does mean that we will have to bring these units in sometime in the battle. If you don't ever bring them into the battle, then you will lose all of those men and the guns that you put into them if they never see battle, which is annoying, but especially for the 24-pounders, I figured this out the hard way. So I'm coming back and doing a voiceover now. Not a voiceover, but a new intro, because the old intro was lacking for some of this detail. So for Chickamauga, you only get the 2 corps, which is fine. So we've got this corps, and then this one for tomorrow's reinforcements. We will bump that up to 25 before we start the fight the next day. It's just to split it out. So without any further ado, we are going to jump right in here, and the battle will start once I get this all done, get them all set up and ready to go. You guys have a good one. See you there. Bye. So I've got this sped up quite a bit. We're going to do some pretty cheeky things here. We're going to do some crossing of rivers instantaneously. I mean, not instantaneously, but crossing of rivers that shouldn't be able to be crossed, and some other things here. Because trying to cross like one bridge just is terrible. It's just terrible. That's all there is to it. We got the one cannon so that then we can kill off their artillery that's sitting there. So now we can move across the river. So what you do basically is you move like into the river. You can do it a couple different ways, but the way I like to do it is just by breaking into the river just a little bit. Like whenever you move, you just get into the river just a little bit, which then allows you to do this kind of thing. So here we are moving here. We did get seen with our supply wagon there, but it's not a big deal. I missed there. They started to run, and whenever they spread out like that, they can get shot really easily. So the reason why I'm moving up that way with the unit of infantry is just in case their cav comes down, because sometimes their cav will come down. So there, we get into melee a little bit, but that's okay, no big deal. Go ahead and fire at them a little bit there, that's fine. And then we'll move on down. Went ahead and had one of these guys run just to get him out in front of the other one, not for any real particular reason. We just don't want him to get stacked up too much. So what you can do is what I did there. You get them to angle a little bit. Well, then whenever you break off your skirmishers and put them back away, then they are at such an angle that at least some of their men are on dry land, and then you can just take the men on dry land, tell them to move, and they'll basically jump to the other side of the river instantly. It's really quite nice. So we missed the cav, so the cav is now below us, which is good in a lot of ways. We'll go ahead and bring down 2 more units of infantry to hold in all the men that are down there. I think it's like 4 units of infantry and a couple cav and some other things are down there oftentimes. So there we go. We get them on the other side of the river. That's all we were looking to do. We leave 1 unit up there with the general. That general was there basically just to keep my men from having a bunch of problems with the getting shot at while they're trying to get spawned in. So that worked out really well. So the other goal is Lee, if he stands out there just a little bit and gets seen, then we will get their cav that spawns in the north interested in coming to the south later on, which is absolutely perfect for everything that we want to do here. We really want them to come on. I couldn't decide exactly where I wanted them to be there. We are trading shots in the forest, and that's fine for now. So what we're doing here is we're lining up so that their cav can come down whenever the next phase starts, because we don't want to get in a situation where we keep them from going where we want them to go. If we move too far over, the cav will see us as it comes down and will engage us instead of entering the pocket that we want it to. And also this gives us a chance to rest our units and things like that. So it is a pretty good idea. Things didn't go quite as well down here as they could have. Bringing like a sniper or something like that to get some side shots on some of these guys could be really helpful. It's just really hard to get the snipers to cross the river like consistently. They do cross, but not very consistently, which is fine. It's not, I mean, it's kind of cheaty, so it's not really that big a deal that they don't always cross. So we're at the 2-minute mark, 0-minute mark. So now we need to get him seen up here so that the cav will come down. Tell him to hold right there. We start getting our reinforcements. We are moving over this way to keep any units from coming up the backside here, because their cav will for some reason come up and around this way, which is really helpful for us. We're also looking to stack up our infantry over there within sight range of the enemy so that we can be ready to charge them during the next part. At this point, it's been long enough that their cav has locked on to our men. I'm worried that they're going to get a shot on his side there, so we back up just a little bit, just enough, and they go right into the pocket, just like we wanted them to. I don't know what it is about them that makes them do this, but for some reason, they just love to go there. I don't know why. It's really weird, so we're going to try to get around the side of Ray to push him, like I was indicating there, into the pocket as well. Yep, so we're moving around behind him. That'll make him want to go that way. So we're going to... Yep, come on. It's working, kind of. Hopefully it will actually push him in there. I remember that it does. So now we see their cav that's inside of the pocket there. That is exactly where we wanted their cav to be. We keep that unit up there kind of to the side. So yeah, so now we have them boxed in. Perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. Now we can continue to move down this way with the rest of our units. So now we stack these guys up on top of each other. Go ahead and have the artillery hit one of their cav, just because their cav is the most annoying thing they have. And I still don't know why their cav does that. It's really good for us, but I don't know why they feel like they should do that. It's like the worst thing they could possibly do, basically. It doesn't make any sense. But works for us. So now we've got a problem with them moving up, but we've got pretty good cover there. It's not perfect cover, but it's good enough. We do have some things that happen in this battle that are not as optimal as they could be, but for the most part, it turns out pretty well for us. Yep, so we get a good couple volleys on those skirmishers there, and a good couple volleys there, and they are not happy. And I feel like there's two different things going on here that I really want to have happen. I think I'm not going to attack, right? I don't think I'm going to. It doesn't really make sense to attack with the situation that I'm in right now. So we need those guys to hold for just a bit to get up their condition. Will be best, probably. And that will lead to some really good things later on. So these are the last units that we're going to get. So one sniper goes all the way to the corner there. Helps me keep vision on them as they're retreating that way. And also allows me to get some shots on flanks and things as they face the units that we have. Over there. So we're worried about getting shot by their snipers, because obviously they could just sit there and shoot us all day if they wanted, and we don't really want them to do that. It's also worked out that we didn't actually knock like any of their guys out of the fortifications down there, and that's also best because you don't actually want to have them running around because that will lead to bad things for you. So now we get good shots on their artillery some there. That's good. And we get more shots on the artillery. They turn their flank, and boom, we got them. So now we know we're in good position here. So we just keep moving in slowly and surely. Don't want to push it too hard because that would be, dangerous. We just want to slowly move in. Now we can go ahead and move up our guy from the south. That should work really well. We've kind of forgot about these guys. We're going to cheat just a little bit here to get them to go across the river a little bit faster, just because that's really annoying that we forgot about them. This is not great. They do have several units in here that look like they're gonna, you know, put up a really good fight. Well, really good for them, really bad for me, obviously. That Bartley, or whatever the name is, Minty. Why did I say Bartley? It's Minty. So we get shots from the rear with our unit that's across the river. That is perfect. We obviously took a couple shots there that we didn't really want to, but nothing we can do about that. We just have to deal with what we're given. And overall, we're given a pretty good situation here, to be honest. Like, we just have to be careful not to get too over-ambitious. So yeah, we're going to move that guy down there to help cover that. We've been ignoring this a little bit more than I probably should have, because we really let too many men stack up there to the north. More men than we should have, at least. Gonna go ahead and get all these guys moving. And just slowly pushing them back every chance that we can. We've captured the flag up here. We can capture several of the flags anytime we want. So once these skirmishers up here get vision, then these skirmishers can start shooting the side of Long there, and that works out really well for me. We've already come into contact with a lot of their snipers. All these guys are snipers, and this was very difficult to get into a position where the snipers don't just sit back and shoot me repeatedly. So we definitely have done a whole bunch to skew this in our favor. I'm not gonna lie, we definitely have fought this battle many, many times trying to get this right. Because as you see there, like, that skirmisher, you know, has taken almost 50 losses just from like random shots from their skirmishers. It's so painful. So we captured everybody up there. We're gonna move down our general, and we're just slowly pushing in from the backside here. This is going really well, better than I could have ever expected. And now we just need everybody to move across the river in a way that doesn't involve stupidity, because we don't want our guys to get into too much trouble. So we just keep moving forward. They have at least one artillery here. This is where I usually see it. It's on top of the hill back there. There's a vision point and stuff. Kind of between the two flags, there's a vision point, and then behind it, at that little crossroads where all the roads meet, that's where the artillery normally is. So we're splitting off all of our skirmishers, or combining them back in, depending on the unit. Trying to get them to move right to the flag so that we can get a really good spot there. Doing a really good job of just absolutely destroying whatever skirmishers they have that way. Trying to get them to get across that river in a timely fashion. This is like a 20-pound parrot or something like that. It's a pretty scary little gun, I'm not gonna lie. We really don't want to be in range of it for any longer than we have to be, so moving up here and getting shots either on its rear or just a lot of shots just to try to keep from... I don't think I meant to try to cross the river there. I just wanted to get in a good position, which is kind of working out. I mean, you can see that some of my skirmishers have taken some pretty good size hits. You see the vision point there, and you see where the crossroads area where the gun was sitting. It might be 24 pounders. I cannot remember for the life of me. We are absolutely unloading on them. We're putting away some of our skirmishers and breaking them back out, mostly because we don't want them to rout. because these snipers will rout a unit in just a couple volleys. Like if 2 of them get a volley off, like it can be really, really deadly. So now we're looking at these guys, seeing if they have 100% condition, and if they do, then we're getting them walking, because why not? It's not going to lose us anything at this point. The other thing we make a mistake on here is Harvest Fairies 1 there. Really moved too far forward. Should have stayed back. But it's really hard to keep units from crossing that river. Really hard. Because they feel like they can cross it easily enough. They just feel like they can't go anywhere else. So they do it. It's really hard to stop them from doing it. We still haven't captured the flag up there in the center. So that's kind of good that we, are keeping that from happening. We don't need to avoid this flag so much since we haven't captured the other one yet. So I should have been less careful about this flag in some ways. But we only have 20 minutes left, so we kind of have to do it soon. We can't just allow them to get back, We gotta... And we're trying to keep them from getting any of them back by shooting different ones with... As long as you keep shooting at the ones that are flashing, then they won't be able to get back other units. As long as you can keep firing. It's hard sometimes to keep the units firing at the right guys. They tend to... And also I wanted to start telling my main units to stop, because I need to get their condition back up to full. So we're just going to have all the main units hold, and then we're just going to send some detached skirmishers to take the flag. So tell them to hold. They're probably a little bit too close to the river. They probably should have... But I really wanted to get shots on the rear of some of these guys, and... Yeah, it was a mistake. I should not have done that. I should not have moved forward to try to get shots on the rear, because there was another unit back there, and now this unit has taken a ton of casualties for no reason, and I'm trying to get it to back off, I think, or I need to get it to back off, and I'm just not. Should have been more careful with it. We've got 8 minutes left, and we're about to take the flag now, which is good, but... We've shattered another unit of cavalry, and we charge in, and that unit gets past us. So they've got a unit of cav and that unit of infantry that are problematic here. And here, so right here, I should have stopped and had them hold, because there's no way they were going to have enough time. They only had 3 minutes left. And this is pretty much the end of day 1 here, and we'll jump in with some post-commentary about how it went. So I lost right around 2,000 men, and like 100 of it's going to be just my general that I let take some damage there, so he probably took a little bit of the damage that happened. A couple of the losses. I don't know exactly how many of them. Should not have tried to cross the bridge in the south. I mean, in the center. That was a mistake. I lost a lot of men on that unit for no real reason. I think it was this guy that did it. And 2 units escaped across the bridge because they just can, I guess. I mean, I really feel like they should have gotten captured there, but there's nothing I can do about it. At least one of them should have been. Like, I was all over them. We did good minimizing our casualties for the most part. I do have one where I did a little bit better, but I didn't have all my weapons set up, so this one will go much better. Gotta bring these guys up to snuff now. we go. And do the same with the rest of our artillery, just to see if... I just did it just to see if it would help out any. I have no idea if it will make any difference on the size of the enemy units or not. But it's not like I'm using these artillery so all that much, so I feel like it's not really fair for them to get scaled off of my artillery. I could just break them down and make them into like skirmisher units or something, but I don't really see the point of that either. We'll set all these to 10 at first. I'm not exactly sure how big I'll be able to make them, so we're just going to set them to 10 and see where we can go from there. I thought this was... Oh, I was supposed to have one more 24-pounder right there. Right, I had 12 left. Yep. Oh, well, that happens. No big deal. Doesn't really make all that much of a difference. It'll be able to switch over right after the battle, so... Basically, I'm just not sure how far these guys are going to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
250 more men. So I can go 11 on some of them, but not all of them, I think. Which is fine. I just wanted to keep it just above 3 stars, so
Yes, sir.
this is how many men I could have and have it above 3 stars. All but one unit can have 11. I guess if I had made this guy just 11, since he's a 24-pounder, since he's not a 24-pounder, then we could have done everybody. That's fine though, no big deal there. I'm going to be pulling a couple units out of here, the ones that were tired at the end. I wrote them down. The CS2 and the HF1 were like the only ones that were probably going to be tired at the end there. Some of the other ones will be a little bit tired because I think I drew some circles and I'm not sure that I actually, I don't think I stopped them from doing the circles, so they probably got a little bit tired, but they'll probably still be in the upper 90s, so I'm not really too worried about that. I was trying to minimize my CS casualties, and I did an okay job of it on most of them, but these two took a little bit more than I was wanting to let them take. We're going to use these guys the next day, or on this day, to really rack up some good kills, because these are 61s, and they'll be able to really rapid fire into the enemies with some really good accuracy and some really good damage. Fire rate of 55, really fast firing, and we're going to see if we can get some really good, nice kills. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next day. Bye.
Well, I hope you guys have had as much fun as I've had. This has been a blast. I hope to see you back here for the next episode. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you later.